Okay, so for this assignment, you're going to be choosing a client profile. Whichever client profile you choose, that is what we are going to be making each stuff up. So basically, the room is a bedroom, for this example. There's going to be room dimensions, and then you have to pick out these items or the client provides you with items that they want. Okay? So for this example, I'm going to do a bedroom, and the client's bedroom is 12 feet by 14 feet. So I'm going to make a 12 by 14 room. So I'm going to do a 12-foot line by 14 feet by 12 feet by 14 feet. Okay, there's the bedroom. Remember, I can offset. Um, okay, offset this little one right here. You go ahead and click it, click anywhere on here. And see how I go in and out. Make sure we're inside the blue square or rectangle. And our walls are going to be 4, let's just do 6 inches. 6 and 12, okay? Now remember that we bring up the walls, and average walls are 8 feet high. So then go in the up direction, 8 feet. Okay. Now we go ahead and double click, triple click almost. I'm going to hold down shift because I don't want the floor. I just want the walls. I'm going to right click. I'm going to make it a group. And that's my tags area. I'm going to go to another tag. I'm going to add a partial wall. Now we click it, right click, entity info, and put it under the wall tab. And remember, we can click the little eye to see if we did it correctly. Okay? That will help us. And then we can also use the blue one. We double click. When we double click, we should get all the edges highlighted as well, versus just one click will not get the edges highlighted. You make sure you double click, right click, make group, and we can select it. And kind of select it right there. Add it, let's put 4. Now we could entity info, it's untagged, and make the 4, and it works. Okay, so here we go, there's your bedroom. Now something that's not really going to be kind of like real life, there's obviously in real life, there's a door, and we have windows. For this assignment, there's not going to be doors and windows because doors and windows can vary on whoever house you're putting this in. So we're not going to do windows or anything, but that's just something that you need to think about, like where the windows and where the doors and your placing furniture, okay? Now for this assignment, I'm going to go ahead and pick and design the furniture for the room, and for this purpose, I chose some furniture so you can learn how to manipulate furniture to make it look like something you want it to look like. For furniture you can already find in the warehouse. Okay, so here's the example 1. So this is what the client wants technically. So let's go ahead and start looking for items that the client wants, and they want a bed. These are the dimensions for the bed, and it's a queen size bed. So right here is the link to the bed. I'm just going to paste it. And it takes us to the link. And here we have different dimensions that we can look at, but we're looking at the queen one. So this is the queen information. The others are king and California king. But we had requested queen. So we're looking at these dimensions. So let's go look for a bed that looks just like this in SketchUp in the warehouse. So let's just see our options. Looking for a bed that has 4 little legs. This one's not bad. This one might be a little better of an option. Sometimes you could honestly just search the bed name, and sometimes they have them uploaded into the warehouse. I'm gonna try that. Nope. And just try this. Nope. Okay, let's just fix the bed. I think those up there are probably our best option. You also, this one's not bad. And this one. Let me see this one. I might pick this one. You're gonna be using a lot of your time just to search up beds so you don't have to actually make the bed from scratch. And this is where a lot of your time is utilized, is searching for a bed that you can manipulate. Okay, I actually think I'm gonna do this one here. So I'm choosing this one because of that, because I could be able to change that color. Like you see this dark brown and then this light brown. Let me go ahead and use this one and change the color, and then I can probably manipulate this into one panel. And yes, we're just going to import it. I know it's large, but this is what we need. Okay, you see how there's something out there? Sometimes when you import objects, you have to zoom out because it's, I don't know why they do this, but you just do. So I'm just going to click, and now I'm going to double click over here. I'm going to move this item where it needs to be. Okay, that makes it smaller. And there we go. Now let's move this object where it is here, so we need it. And I can place it down. Okay, so I'm going to place it right here on the floor. I'm going to go along my blue axis, and remember I can hold down shift to lock it in place. Or, make sure it touches the floor, click it. Okay, and I'm going to start manipulating this item to look something like this. So the wood is already pretty good. Oh, well, let me show you how I'm going to do that. Okay, so I placed it. So we have that as a group, our furniture piece is one group, and I want to edit this group, so I need to double click into it. Now that I'm double clicked into it, it will allow me to edit it. But you see how I can click it? It's like when people make these items, you see how all these panels, this panel is it's in its own group. So people put groups within groups within groups. Um, and you have to manipulate each different group. Okay, so like I was saying, if I wanted to edit the wooden part, if you zoom out, look how only this wooden piece is being selected. So if I edit this, none of this other wooden stuff will be edited because in order to edit this, I have to double click into it. You see how each piece I could select now, but nothing else I could select. So this is the only piece that's going to change. So this is all wood. I'm just going to select it all. And now I'm going to go look at the options it gives me in my paint. And I'm going to pick a darker wood. So here's a darker wood. And I'm going to paint it that color. But now I need to go, and I picked that color because it matches this one right here. And I'm going to have to go through every single item and paint it because each single item is in its own group. Sometimes, no. Sometimes you get lucky and there's multiple things in the group, but whoever made this made it a little bit difficult. Okay, so that looks fine. Everything is painted what we needed to be painted. And now it looks like we kind of have a lighter color. So I might see what I can do to change the color. So it automatically selects the entire. Oh no, it doesn't. Okay, so same thing. Let's see what we can find. This color doesn't look too bad. Let's see. I'm gonna exit it. So that's definitely a lighter color. That's probably something I'm going to use. So now I'm going to go around and paint the objects that need to be painted this color. Okay, that side is already done. Sometimes, I don't know how they do it, but sometimes if an object's symmetrical, it'll do the exact same thing to the other end. Okay, now let's try to fix this. So this is where I wanted all one piece. So I'm just going to try this real quick. I'm just going to delete them. And I'm going to see if I could pull this piece out. So you can't usually pull curves out, so I'm going to try to not make it a curve. I can't see anything behind there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this object up and then I'll place it back. So I got it done. So now you can see I made a surface, and now I can pull that all the way, well, hopefully. Okay, pull that all the way over to where I need it to be, and it right there. And honestly, I'm probably just gonna delete all this other stuff because there's no curves in my other one. I do have to go like line by line and like delete it. But there's no curves in this other one. So I'm gonna just get rid of the curves and kind of just keep the part that I need. So you see how I'm deleting the curves? And I just select it and delete it. There's gonna be a lot of trial and error, so don't get too frustrated. But you see how it's kind of open? I'm just gonna continue this with a line. So I want to close it, and remember when you close it, it makes a surface, you see? And the back made a surface as well. So these are the things that you have to, it's just getting used to. You just have to do it, and you'll learn from the experience. So I'm going to push and pull, and I'm going to bring it out the rest of the way down here. I'm going to delete that line, and I'm going to select everything and paint it that color that I needed. And now I could bring this down. So with my move tool, I'm going to bring it down. Okay, what it is. There we go. That's just to bring it up because look at that gap. And maybe right here. Okay, so that looks about right. This looks good. And it does look like the other bed. Yeah, we're probably missing the starch thing, the starch wooden trim. But for the most part, it definitely looks like what we need. So if you were to show the client this bedroom and this was their bedroom and the furniture in the bedroom, then this is something that will look very similar to the bed that they chose. Okay, so last thing that we want to verify is we want to verify that this is the correct size. So in the client profile, the bed says it was 64 inches wide, blah, 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 blah. So we're just going to paste this in here. Make sure there's no other dimensions. They're really important. Okay, so 64 inches wide. So let's go ahead and measure this, make sure it's okay. 4 feet 10 inches. So 12 times 4 is 48 plus 4, 52. So we have 52. So we have 62 inches, and what we need is 64 inches wide. So let me show you something real quick. So I selected the entire bed, and you could only do this when you need like an inch or two. You cannot do this when it's more than like 2 or 3 inches because it will warp the entire product that you just created. So for example, I'm going to show you that I'm going to click from this point, and we need 64 inches. Okay, so I'm going to use that as a little guide. I'm going to select this, and now we're going to go to scale. So this is a little thing, and it's going to get the entire bed. And see these little points? So these little points, you could kind of like make it bigger like this, you see? Or you could just make it wider. So I just want to make it wider. I don't want to make it higher and wider. You probably can make it taller without making it wider, or you can make it wider without making it taller, or you do both at the same time. I just want it wider. So I'm going to kind of go out to where it says 64. I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to go back and delete this little point that I made. And there we have our 64-inch wide bed. Now let's check the length. It's 85 inches, 85 and 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to put 85 inches. And we're not that far away from it, so I'm just going to scale it again. And I think it's somewhere over here. Trying to make it bigger. There we go. Now I can delete this little point, delete, and that is our bed size that we needed. Let's put it against the wall for now. Remove it. Okay, so now what we want is a dresser. So here's the dimensions of the dresser, and we click the link right here that I provided, and it'll take us down to the bed, and it'll take us to this dresser. So now I want to go look for a dresser. I'm going to copy and paste this so I can see if it's already in there. Sometimes they're in there, sometimes they're not. But I'm going to copy and paste that, and if not, I'm going to go look for a dresser just like I did the bed. See? There it is. Okay, let's see what we needed. We needed a 6-drawer dresser, 72 inches wide. There's a 9-drawer, so we can manipulate it. Okay, there it is. Let's place it. Rotate it. So we need just the 6 drawers. So let's just get the 6 drawers. Let's delete this row. So remember, to edit it, I need to double click into it. So I'm double clicked into it. All the drawers are one group, so let's double click into it. Okay, this is good. You can delete a space. Now let's see. These lines are still there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select kind of all of this side, delete, and see what I'm left with. I'm going to escape. Okay. So it looks like these were just like spaces to look like doors or drawers. So I want to delete this side of the knob. Now let's see. I want this. I'm going to move it. Well, actually, 1, 2, 3. No. Let's see what this is. Okay. I'm going to make a line from here to here that will separate. Actually, I need to make sure I go in this very corner. Kind of look at it. I'm going to kind of grab from this point and make a line down. But my line needs to be all the way up. So I'm going to click this point again. And go all the way up. That's what I'm going to have. Okay, see how I made the line that separated it from this and this, but the very tedious thing about this, you have to get like corner to corner or else it's not going to do it. You see how I got it? I separated the both one face into two faces. Now I can delete this part and let's see what's back there. There's nothing back there, so I think what I'm going to do now, let's see if this works. I'm just going to select the outer shell and I'm going to scale it down. You must select a single surface too. And adjust the component and scale it. Nope. Oh wait, that's offset. Never mind. Okay, scale. So here we go. Now it will let me make it smaller. I guess what's something good to do is let's measure how long it needs to be. So the sixth door needs to be 72 inches wide. So let's go ahead and mark 72 inches wide so we know how much to scale it down. 72 inches is right there. So you don't need to scale it that much. Okay, now it's scaled down that, but now we need this little bottom part. And this is just a rectangle, so I think I'm just going to push and pull the face there. I'm just going to push it back. Remember, we cannot do curves, but we can do flat surfaces with the push and pull. So let's push it over. Now what are these? And I think what we're going to do for these is just scale it as well. So you see how it grabs all of them? I'm just going to pull it to where it hits this way. There we go. And then remember our little pools were in a different area. I'm just going to center them now. So if you select them, you get your move tool. If you kind of hover, maybe quickly, it's not going to let you. But kind of move them. You know what? This isn't going to work. Okay. So let's just find the. I'm going to have to double click into it because they're not going to work like this. So let's just hit shift, shift, shift. That means we're just going to be working with this side over here. I'm going to grab the move tool. And I'm just going to center these. Right there. And then I'm going to go select, shift, shift, shift. And then I'm going to use the move tool to move them as well. There we go. Okay. So that is our structure. I'm going to go ahead and save this. But we still need it to be the dark brown color. So all we're going to do is select, let's see, did I paint tool? I'm going to use the same brown that I used on the bed. Double click this, select it all. Sometimes I'll let you paint it like that. Nope. And then just paint it. There you go. Now I'm going to go select the doors, flip them all, paint it, there we go. And there we have our dresser and our bed. Perfect. Okay, now what we need to get is, oops, 1 second. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is go look for our last object. So we already did the dresser. Now we want the nightstand, and we want a quantity of 2 nightstands. So remember, we could just edit one and then simply copy it and have 2 automatically. So let's go look for a little table. We would call them end tables, nightstands, accent tables. I'm just gonna try end table. Or actually, I forgot we could. I'll search this word. No, almost. Maybe this one could work. Okay, I'm gonna probably use this one, but let me just go look for an end table real quick and make sure that's my best option. That's already full, that would be good. But thing is, we need it square. Let's put gold. There. Okay, I'm probably just gonna use that one that we saw. And I can edit it. I'm just gonna download it. Let's put it right here. Okay, so the reason why I picked this one, I had exactly the shape that I needed, and I could change this glass into, which one is it? This glass into like a white marble. Okay, so that's why I did what I did. So let's go ahead and select this, double click into it so we can edit it. And it looks like each little quadrant has its own group. So we're just going to double click into one of them, select it all, and what I'm first going to do is paint it gold. So here's a gold right here, and I'm going to paint it. Okay, and I'm going to go do that to the rest. Now, some of y'all might not have the same paint colors as me. What happens is that when you import an item, what comes with that item is colors and materials and patterns that you don't have already in your paint bucket. So I have these options to pick those because For some reason, it imported it with my object. If not, I would have to go scroll through what I have in my paint area, and then I could choose something from there. But it's importing with some of the objects, so I have some really good colors that I can choose from. So technically, if you needed a specific color or a specific material, I'd probably go look for an object with that material, import it to your drawing or import it to your 3D model. I would not use the object maybe in the room to keep it off to the side, but you can have that material from that specific object. Okay, so I'm going to double click on this glass now, and I need a marble because over here it's marble. Let's see, search my options, probably in stone. There's a marble. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to kind of rearrange this room because I don't like how it's looking out. I'm going to take the bed. Oops, not the floor. The bed. I do like sometimes going on a top view. Okay. And then you could see where you're placing your things. You see how this isn't in the center? I'm going to select this one and move it over. Right here. And move it over a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to select this and move it over. And what I'm going to do is, actually, I was going to copy it, but I need to check the dimensions real quick. I'm going to go back to my perspective view. And my bed is inside my wall. And bring that out before I forget. And then this marble table is 20 square feet, which means it's a 20 by 20, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, 20 inches. So we do need to make it a little bit bigger. But since it's square, let's see, let's scale it real quick. It's all set. Scale. Okay, do y'all have any questions about anything? Okay, so we need to scale this, make it a little bit bigger, and move it over. And I need 20 inches this way. And over there. There we go. 20 inches. And do these little things because they do get annoying sometimes. Okay. I'm gonna bring this up because it's like inside my floor. And the blue axis. What was it? Okay, I'm gonna go back to the view that I wanted. That looks fine. Copy, right click, paste. There we go. There's what it was requested of, and we do everything. Okay, so that definitely looks like all the furniture that we were required to pick out. Now it's up to me to decide the remaining items. So we're going to need chair, wall art, paint color, wallpaper, flooring, decor, lighting, and ceiling fan. So the thing is, this time, you're not going to just be picking out whatever at the warehouse. You do need to go and pick out something that you could, like somebody could actually purchase. Okay? So instead of picking something from the warehouse, let's let's just use the links that I've been giving you. So I mean, you have a bunch of different links, but for this example, all this furniture came from a site called Restoration Hardware. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go look for a sofa or a chair, and I just pick a chair, whatever I think would go nice in here. But the thing is, I have to recreate it. Okay. So pick a really cool chair, but don't make it so hard on yourself. I like this chair. We're gonna go with this one. Matches my end table. It's really nice. So what I would do is just copy the link so you don't lose it, and just go paste it, wherever you need to paste it so you don't lose it. But that's something that you picked out for the client, and they need to purchase it. So this is why you selected something that would be useful, that looks good in the bedroom, and it's something they can actually buy. Yeah, it's $2,000, but I mean, I guess people do buy it. Okay, so let's put this chair in. It's a sloped armchair. Hopefully it's here. If not, I gotta find something that will look like it. Okay, so there's nothing. So I'm gonna type chair. The type chair or accent chair, you can find different things with different things that you type. No, almost, but no. So notice how it says arms. We can try armchair. If it didn't have arms, I guess it would just be called a chair. Honestly, this one might work. Let me look around some more. Maybe this one. That one looks kind of promising. So you might be thinking why I clicked this one because sometimes it just comes in as like an object, and basically why it's white and all that stuff is because you get to choose the colors. Uh, so that one honestly looks probably the best. I think we're gonna go with that one. Okay, we're gonna go with that one. Sometimes I am a little worried importing items like that because there's so much detail that goes into this item that it slows down your model. See, but I need it, so make sure you save your model and we'll hope for the best. Okay, so this is what we're working with. Double click into it. You know we need to change the fabric, so I'm just going to start there. I need to paint it, and I'm just going to paint it that same color that I had the bed. Can you do it? Yep. This is actually really ugly. I might not use it. Don't do what I'm doing. I'm touching something. I can't have done that. Okay, so my SketchUp model crashed. I won't be using that chair. Let's go for another one. Those are really big. Like a really big file. Let's try this one. Not the best, but let's make it work. So let's double click into it. And I'm going to first change the arm. And we know that we need gold. Let's put some gold. I don't know why this little piece isn't changing. Okay, because it's its own piece. So we're going to paint it. Okay. Maybe just take it off. Okay, I could just delete it and it doesn't affect anything. Okay, now I gotta worry about these bottom pieces. One more. Okay, now I'm gonna do the fabric. The fabric is like a white. Okay, pretty similar. There's a couple different like things that we could have changed just with the sloped arm, but gives the same feel for the most part. So let's go ahead and make sure that our dimensions are correct. So 26.5 wide by 32.5 feet. So let's do this. So deep is like from the wall to where it comes out to. Let's do the green. And it was 32 inches. Hmm. So I made my 32-inch line, and that's just not what I want. So I'm going to leave it. I'm just going to be measuring it with normal and then see what our dimension is. 24, 25 inches. Or actually, from the furthest part in the back to up here, we need 32 inches. Okay, so let me scale this. I'm not too far away. Scale. I'm just going to bring it out to this point right here. Let's delete this. And let's check our width. 26.5 inches. So from the very end point. Uh-huh. Take it first. Yeah, it shows in the video. So we need, what was it, 26? So it's already 24. 25, 26. So that needs to be smaller. So I'm going to put 26.5 inches. It's actually going to be up to this line. And delete that. There. Okay, now I'm going to delete this line right here. And that's our chair. So now we can rotate it and move it where we believe it will fit. I'm going to go to that view. And I like to see how everything fits in the room. I don't like that. Now I'm going to try to rotate some things around because I don't really know. I want all these rotated, so that's why I selected all of them at once. Yep. Do y'all have any questions so far? Sorry, we definitely have big paper that y'all can use, but y'all need to know how the people at home feel. So we're keeping a small paper as well. Alright, so this is kind of how I decided for a layout for this at this point. Now we come back to our client profile. I got the chair. Now we need wall art, a pink color, flooring decor, and a lighting application. So for the wall art, I'm just going to pick a mirror. And I can just come over here, our warehouse, put mirror. And then what I want to do is make sure I could look for a mirror or find something. And mirrors are pretty easy to look for, which is why I decided to come here first. Because I could usually find a mirror that can look like basically any of these mirrors on the SketchUp. So I'm going to actually search a mirror that I like. And there's that mirror. You don't need this anymore. That was right here. So it comes in all of these dimensions. In centimeters, so we would have to do some I want to see how much these are. Okay, now they're entered because we switched to United States. I'm gonna actually check the dimensions here. I think I want to mirror up about 48 inches to 30, hopefully. So this one looks fine. 47 by 35. First I want to rotate it. Move it on the wall. I would rotate it like this. Let's check these dimensions. These dimensions are 31 or 4 feet. This is my 4 feet. Yep, that's the correct mirror that I want. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and move it like that. And then there's my mirror that I chose. So that counts for some wall art. And you can definitely put more if you'd like. Okay, so we did the chair, we did the wall art. Now I'm going to start picking a paint color or wallpaper or flooring. So that's just done with some paint. And we could paint things, we could paint walls and pick any color, and we know we can go get that at a hardware store. So let's not stress over too much about the paint unless you want a wallpaper. So you have to find the wallpaper for sale. I'm just going to go with my basic colors. I'm not a fan of big colors here, but okay, so I kind of picked like a grayish color. I don't really like it. Now I'm going to try the floor. So remember, I have to double click into my floor in order to edit it. And I did the same thing with the walls. If I wanted to paint the walls, I have to double click into the walls. Double click out, double click into the floor, and I can use the paint for the floor. So instead of going to the colors, we can look at carpet, if you want carpet. So remember, you have to find something that you can buy. I would personally want wood. I really don't like any of the options that they give us, but that's what we're stuck with. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick this wood. Let's see if something else imported into my library that I like. really not. I wonder if we could put flooring. No. I'm gonna leave it like this, and basically what I can go search up is, this is where I would do it the backwards way because you're very limited to the amount of stuff you have for flooring. Instead of going to look for a floor that you want to use, unfortunately you have to probably pick a floor from SketchUp and go find something that you can use. So this looks like something that we use. We can click that. That looks perfect. That looks very similar to what we chose right here. Remember that we are just, before we lose anything, we need to copy the things that we are using because eventually we need to refer back to this, um, like if somebody is going to buy it. And you can organize this later. I'm just using it to keep all my links real quick. There will be an assignment with your links. Okay, now I'm going to go search probably for, well, let's not. Good our flooring. Now some decor, and then a lighting and ceiling fan. So you can stick to that same website that we were at, or you're more than welcome to go search another website. Okay, something like these would be really nice. Maybe like this marble one. And go look for that. Maybe this lamp, and then we just change the base by changing a different color. Table lamp is the good one because that means it's one that you just on the table. It looks kind of similar. So maybe this one. That's good, that's not the right shade, and the shade would be harder to manipulate versus the base. think I'm gonna stick with this one. I don't like it. Maybe a plant. And again, remember, like something like this is something you could obviously you can find something with it. I think he's stupid. I don't like that either. I think I'm just gonna put stuff around the middle. If you click see more details, you can see more details about this item. And what I like is that sometimes it takes you to different like models or collections, and you can see what other people have. Their collection of tables. This is what this is something that these people created. Hmm. Okay, so I'm gonna place it right here. And again, this is just stuff to make it look like the model is complete. And now I'm gonna go find some lighting. So this is what we have to prep for when writing. So we have our tag. We're gonna need to add one more tag. So we're gonna get the rectangle tool. We can go from this corner to this corner, and it'll make it perfect. So let's get our selection tool, double click, right click, and move group. Now we can add one where it says feeling, and we can see the entity info, and let's move it to the feeling tab. And again, you can check it, see if it works. I'm gonna turn it off right now. but you need to look for some lighting or like a ceiling fan. And I'm gonna look for a ceiling fan. Remember, I'm searching first because this is something that you need to be able to buy in order to put into the bedroom. And I think I want a gold or a brass ceiling fan. So brass is like gold. Okay, this one looks good. 60 inches. So now I'm going to look for, or it comes in, no, only 60 inches. Okay.
This has three blades, and honestly that one looks okay, so I think I'm just going to download this and then I can change the color of the other things. So I double clicked into this. Actually, let me move it first. I can't see anything. So I double click into this and I want to change this to that brass color. So I'm just going to go to my paint and probably use this one. It's not as shiny. Kind of yellow. Let me go see what other options I have. Maybe metal. Okay, there's none. We will stick with this one. Now we want to change the blade. And they're just like basically a black wooden color. And I'm just gonna, probably just pick the same thing. Maybe this one. Then I could click out. Oops, click out, click out. And so the reason that's white is because it does have a little light, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. Now here's kind of the important part. This is where I will now turn off the walls, but turn on the ceiling so I could see where I'm placing it. So I'm going to move this just in the general location. I'll probably go to the top and kind of center it where it needs to go. That looks about right, but it needs to be a lot shorter. So here it has downward adapters. So we can go like all these inches. So the shortest we go is 4.5 inches is probably what we're going to need. So I need to paint that. I just noticed that. So let's go ahead and scale this. Remember, just by selecting the object. No, this one. And we're just going to go all the way. Ooh, you know, it's squishing it. Okay, let's not do that. That's what I said by sometimes it warps the actual item. So instead we're just going to select this part and we're going to move it instead. So I make this shorter. And then I could bring all these other objects up to meet it with my move tool. There we go. You can tell that my model is going a little bit slow because there's probably so many items in here already that I can't really think that fast anymore. And then I'm just going to paint the ceiling color as well. So it's not that blue. Hello. And now let's turn back on the walls. And for turn off the ceiling, this is kind of what we see. So sometimes what I like to do in order to get like a good screenshot is, oh, hold on. We have decor, lighting, and the ceiling fan, and that's it. Okay. I don't know if we got the link for this one. I'm going to place it down here just in case we didn't. And we will come back to that, okay? So now what I'm going to talk to you about is like taking a screenshot of your actual room. And sometimes you have to manipulate the walls, even though that's not how it really is. So it doesn't really matter what you're going to do. But I just like creating a big hole and then pushing through it. Then you can turn the ceiling back on. And then you can get a good view of your room that you've created.
Hello, Miss. Good afternoon.
Hi, Louise. I'll be with y'all shortly.
Okay, Miss.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is we would take a screenshot to get this angle, and then we could place our walls back, which would just be the push and pull tool. So you take a screenshot of this, and then once you're done, you can double click back, and you can just close your wall up, and it's like it was never there.